I'm fed up of young guys telling me that they can't make money online, like they've tried these ways and nothing works for them, that you have to be lucky or everything's a scam. And you know what, I get it, I was in that position too, it's hard, not everything just comes to you like that. However, I found appointment setting, and truly appointment setting is the best way to get into the online space today. You don't need anything to start up, you don't need any experience, and you can literally start earning tomorrow. The way appointment setting actually works is it's completely commission based. So you're working with online businesses, agencies, coaches, generating the sales for them in the DMs, going through like dialing the leads or setting the leads in the DM onto these sales calls, so that when they close for these high ticket offers of like fitness coaching or like any kind of mentorship or programs that these coaches are selling online, you get the commission. The reason why it's such a strong opportunity is because there are thousands and thousands of coaches online, and everyone's just scaling bigger and bigger. Everyone's like starting up every day. It's like the new trend to scale info products, to scale a high ticket offer. And each one of these coaches, each one of these businesses needs a sales team, meaning they need appointment setters, and there is a serious lack of high skilled appointment setters in the space. So over the last like 5-6 months, I've trained over 100 young guys who have now started making these thousands online for appointment setting. Many of them are now able to achieve this freedom, move out to where they want, making this remote income for themselves. Without wasting any more time, I'm going to jump straight into it and show you exactly how to appointment set in the most simple way possible. Cool, so first thing we're going to do is get into how to structure an outreach message, how to actually land your first client, and then even be able to start DM setting for them. So using my free guide here, I'm just going to run off the notes. So you can see, hey, use their name. Right? Love to see your fitness coaching, scaling's killing it. Maybe they're just a fitness coach. Maybe they don't even do fitness at all. We're going to run with this example. So you're using their name. If you haven't, like, you've failed at the gates. I love to see your fitness coaching. Scaling is killing it, so show you're interested. Show, like, tell them they're doing a good job, because who doesn't like a little bit of praise? And then make it personable to you. So I'm also passionate about fitness, so I admire, like, the results you're getting people. I admire your hard work. And then straight to the point, like, I'm a professionally trained, commission-based appointment setter. How would you feel about working together? So you're ending it in a question, and not just a question, but an open-ended question, where it's going to invite that conversation. You're not just going to get a straight yes/no answer. Then use perfect grammar. If you're going to be in their DMs representing them, the worst thing you can do is come and outreach to them with spelling mistakes or incorrect punctuation, because it's just going to be like red flag straight away. Follow-ups are super important. Anyone that replies to you, be polite. Ask them if they had time to have a look, if they haven't replied after a day. After 3 days, again, just check in, ask if they need any extra info, like, hey bro, do you need any extra info here? Again, if they haven't replied, just always super casual, like, are you still interested? After that, I'd say, every 1 to 2 weeks, just keep checking in. After 3 months, okay, they're probably not interested, like, let it go. But it shows that you're a good setter. You've got your tracking in place, you're doing your follow-ups. It's just a real green flag. Keep everything personalized. These guys have built these businesses. They're going to be passionate about it. It's their lives. It's how they make their living. So if you can show them that you are interested, you are passionate about what they want to do, you can show that you want to grow with them as a business, you want to grow your skill set in their business working with them, then again, green flag. Clear, concise and professional. You're going to be working for them, you're going to be representing them, so you need to show that you're professional, that you can be clear, that you can get your message across, because this is what you're going to be doing for their leads, to convert them into sales. So don't be generic. Don't send just copy and pasted outreach, because they're going to get 100 DMs for outreach a day, depending on how big their account is. Some accounts will probably get thousands of outreach a day. So at that point, even if they do see your outreach message, if it's not personalised, if it's just like a clear copy and pasted message, it stands no chance. Again, don't overwhelm them. Like, you saw how clear and straight to the point that message was. That's all it needs to be. If they need an appointment setter, great, they're going to see it. But if they're getting this whole paragraph, just imagine if even your mate sent you a whole fat paragraph. Are you going to want to read it? If you're busy, if you've got things to do that day, are you going to want to read it? Probably not. So if a random guy off the internet trying to sell you a service does it, I know it's commission-based, but still, you're offering them a service. If he sends you a fat paragraph, are you going to want to read it? Probably even less, right? So don't be pushy again. If you've got something to do and someone's just pushing you, it's annoying. It pushes you away further. So don't be pushy. Don't focus on what only you want. Focus on what you can do for them. People love talking about themselves. People love help. So if you can show that you're going to provide them with a service, you can save them with time, here in this way, it's going to be so much better for you. because they're going to want to engage in that conversation because it benefits them. So don't ignore their communication style. If they're being formal, if they're just doing like short sentences, match that. Be on that same wavelength. That's an easy way to connect. Same way if they're being informal, if they're cracking jokes, if they're using slang, match that. Get on that wavelength with them. Don't use a one-size-fits-all because it doesn't exist. Everyone's different. Personalize everything. Don't send messages about context. So make sure there's always a clear, concise direction with the conversation to move onto a call to getting you actually enrolled on an offer where you can start setting these DMs and start getting the commissions on the sales. Okay, don't be too aggressive with your follow-ups. Like I said, keep it just really casual, not pushy, laid back. If they want to come to you, they'll come to you. You can't force them to do anything. Okay, and don't overpromise. Don't tell them hey, I'm gonna 100 extra sales within a week, because it's not gonna happen. And when it doesn't happen and they come to you, well, you're just gonna get shots of why doesn't this happen? You said you're going to do this. You've overpromised here, and it's not going to look good on you. It's not going to do you any favors. So don't spam or bombard them. They're busy people. They're running these businesses. You've got to remember that their lives are so busy, but that's why they need an appointment setter in the first place. So don't be surprised if they don't reply straight away. Don't get put off. Don't get disheartened. Just do your follow-ups, and you'll be sweet. Right. So now we're going to look at the actual framework behind setting, how we qualify a lead, how we book the lead onto a call. So focus on finding that pain. They've come through for a reason, People want to make a change, start something new, get into fitness, get into learning making money online because they don't like their current situation. So because they don't like their current situation, there's pain there. So a good thing to do is dig into that pain so that you have sort of a hell island, and then find that North Star, so the heaven island, and you can create this gap between where they are now and where they want to get to, which creates a desire for them to actually make this change and start taking these steps to get to where they want to be. And then you can create that urgency, so you can be why start now, and really make them convince themselves that they need to start now. And we'll get into that. And then financially qualifying. So they're the 4 main steps. So the example is hey bro, thanks for reaching out. Thank them for reaching out. It's really welcoming, friendly, just convo starter. And then you can go straight into what gave you the motivation. Sometimes this may cause a bit of tension because motivation is quite a strong word already. Some people prefer to do, just a few lines of where you from, man, just building a little bit of rapport first, and then going into, were you looking at appointment setting, or you just wanted to know what it was? Cool, you wanted to know what it was. What gave you the motivation to actually start looking at it, or what gave you the motivation to start learning? Okay, and then the response will be either a North Star, or it will be a pain. Either way you dig into it. So if they want financial freedom, cool man. What does this financial freedom look like for you? Okay, being able to travel to Thailand or whatever. Okay, cool. And when you're able to actually travel to Thailand, how does your life change? Because then you're building up this picture of what their life can be, and they're gonna be oh well, I'm gonna be so much happier. I'm gonna be free. And you can really just dig deep into that. You don't want to go surface level. You don't want to go how was your job? Bad. Okay, where do you live? Okay, why do you not like where you live? Okay, and then going into where do you want to live? How long have you wanted to do this? It's just loads of surface level questions. It's way better to just go deep on one thing. Acknowledge, always acknowledge, completely understand, financial freedom is my goal. Relate back to it, make them feel heard. And now remember to just probe. Like I just said, what does it look like to you? Or if they say, okay, yeah, I just hate my job right now, I don't want to work in a 9 to 5 anymore. What about working a 9 to 5 do you not actually like? What can you not actually handle any longer? You can even go into okay, how long have you felt this way where you don't want to work the 9 to 5? And remember to just, keep acknowledging their pain, If you can relate it to you, even if it's not true, you can stretch the truth a little bit. It's just really going to build that connection with the lead, just that bit more that's going to help you really have a connection in the conversation and ultimately book a lead that's going to join the call and convert. Okay. And then when you've dug deeper, when you've got their real I want to do this, or I can have this feeling, and I've wanted to do it for this long and I've not been able to do it because of this, and they're really clear of where they want to get to or what is really wrong with their life right now. Create that urgency. So what is holding you back? Cool. and when would be the best time to actually get over that and start taking the steps to get to where you want to be? Yeah, as soon as possible. Cool. Financially qualify. Like, if it's, there's a few ways you can do this. So, if it's for like an offer that's going to coach them to make money online, it can be like, cool, man. What is it you do for work? Like, I just want to understand like where you are right now with like financials and everything, or I want to understand just a bit more about you, your lifestyle. For fitness, it's really easy. You can be like, okay, if you're overweight, hey bro, just so I can understand your lifestyle a bit more. Like, what do you do for work? Like, what kind of activity are you doing day to day? It might be like, oh, I'm in an office job, like doing IT, bang, qualify, like they're gonna have money. Or it could just be like, oh yeah, I'm like a part-time, like a PA at a school. Like, I'd say most times they're not gonna have like thousands sitting around ready to invest into a high-ticket offer. At that point, if you feel like someone is unqualified, like especially if they don't have a job, you would then ask the question of like, okay, bro, like at this point you don't have a lot to lose. You just kind of need to like quickly qualify and make sure that they are going to be a right fit. It's just like, okay, you understand like this is a big step. It comes with an investment to actually taking the steps to where you need to be, basically. What are you actually ready to put forward in terms of investment to get you there? So then you're really like, it can create tension. It's a very straightforward question, but it's worth it to not waste that time, especially if you already think that they're not really qualified. And then you can fully understand, right, yeah, I have like 50 quid to spare, or, you know, yeah, I have savings of like a few thousand, like ready to invest. You may get a lot of tension there, and you just have to be like, hey man, like I'm not trying to be intrusive, just like it's going to help me like build out the picture for you so I can help you to the best of my ability. And if they're financially qualified, perfect. At this point, you know, you can pitch them the call, and there's a couple of ways you can go about it. You can literally just like book them onto the calendar manually yourself. So you'll be logged, like set up with all your clients, like calendar and stuff, and you can just put the calls on their calendar for them. And another way you can do it is send like a Calendly, and the only reason you'd send a Calendly is if there are qualifying questions on there. So there may be a few questions like, how long have you been doing this for? What is like holding you back? How much have you got ready to invest? And like have like ranges on there so you can understand how qualified they are. It's just like, it's just some of the questions you need to know. Okay, and then the best way, if you're trying to find a time, even if you are sending a Calendly, find a time still, then send the Calendly and tell them to book onto that. And okay, well, first framing the call. The best way to do that is like, hey man, like, yeah, I feel like I could help you. However, it'd be super useful if we just get on a call. Like, firstly, I can give you some free value, help you out, and secondly, if I actually can help you, like, we could potentially explore that. You know, like we could explore like working together on this, something like that. Nothing like too serious. You want it to be really laid back, just like a really casual vibe, so that there's no tension. They're just like, yeah, excited to get on the call. They're gonna get this free help. They're gonna book in, and the best way to get them to actually book in is like, I've got something tomorrow, like morning or evening. Like, what's better for you, the morning or evening? They'll then come back with whether the morning or the evening, or maybe that day doesn't even work. And then if they tell you morning or evening, tell them the exact time. Okay, 7 p.m. If that works, bang, book them in, perfect. And yeah, ask always, it may be in like the funnel already that you're actually going to require the phone number and email, but it's a great thing to do, because then you can like dial them up and triage them. You know, if they're late for the call, you can also call them up. Just having their number, it's gonna give you like, you know, you're just gonna be able to talk to them, which is super useful, especially when you're trying to nurture leads, which is then the most important step, because you want to make sure that, like, you know, they've confirmed, they've received the confirmation of the booking. You want to then like keep sending them free value. So you want to send them like testimonials. You want to send them like how-tos. You want to send them like, your coach should be making content of free value, of like dropping source, of showing people exactly what they need to do. Okay, you need to like keep nurturing them with this to show that you have the authority, you're the person they're going to listen to, and you have the answer to their problems. So then they're going to be excited, they're going to want to join the call. A day before the call, I like to say, like, hey man, can you just like check you have the link, like the address for the Zoom or the address for the Google Meet, that so that you're going to be ready to join the call, like you've got it, there's not going to be any like delays or complications, so everything just runs really smoothly. On the day, remind them like as early as possible in the day, like, hey bro, I'm still ready for our call later today. So my mic died, but you know, just before the call, like 15-30 minutes, just remind them like, hey bro, still ready, good to go. This will just up the show rate, obviously making sure more people are getting on the calls, so more calls can close, you know, more commissions for you at the end of the day. One of the questions I mainly get asked is like, how does this work though? How do I actually start messaging the leads? And what you'll do is you either use software like ManyChat or Go High Level, or you just simply log into the Instagram, which is what happens 9 times out of 10, and you are just on the creator, the coach, the business's account, messaging these leads, booking them onto the calendar, getting commissions on the sales calls. That's pretty much all it really comes down to. If anyone has any questions, please bang them in the comments. Make sure to check out my Instagram, which I'll put in the description below. If you head over there, you can comment escape on any of my posts, and you can actually get that free training that I showed at the start completely for free. Just by commenting, the automation will send it over straight away. So go check it out. You've got nothing to lose. I hope this was helpful, and make sure you come back for some more sauce.